here with some of my good friends, Mr. Paul Gatter and Zach Brown. This is going to be a fun show because this has kind of been bubbling below the surface for a while. Paul and I have been talking in messages, some things that have been happening. A lot of our friends have been, I guess, hacked, you would say. And so we're going to be talking about some safety things that we can do with Facebook. We're going to be talking about the new kind of group app and some other stuff that Paul has done because he is Mr. Facebook Group. So this will be fun. Zach Brown, how are you doing, my friend? Good to have you back on the show.
Well, it's a beautiful Friday and happy to be here with some of my favorite people in the whole wide room.
A room. That's right. Exactly. Exactly. And we're not even in the same room, so that doesn't even count. Anyway, so this is going to be fun. This will be a great one. We've got, but mostly Disney already showing up saying, hey, it's Zach Brown. That's right. He's Zach Brown.
It's tater time.
That's tater tots. Yes. Yeah. Now I want some tater tots. So it's Sonic. Okay. I'm going to hit go on the podcast machine. Make sure everything's ready, and we will get started. Hello, folks. Welcome to Creator News Live. I'm Jeff C., and you're not.
And I'm Zach Brown, and this is the show that keeps you up to date on what's happening in the world of the creator economy and so much more.
You ever clicked a link in Facebook messages and gotten that pit in your stomach feeling a half a second too late? Do you know what would happen to your business if your personal profile or your business profile disappeared tomorrow? Have you been quietly wondering what Meta's new Forum app is and whether you should care? If any of that sounds familiar, you're in the right place because we're going to be talking about that today.
This week, we're bringing back Paul Gowder, the founder of powwows.com, the leading online community celebrating Native American culture for the past 25 years. Paul's been running one of the largest niche communities on Facebook, longer than most of us have had social media accounts at all. And he's joining us to break down the 2026 Facebook security playbook, the real story on comment jail, and what Meta's brand new Forum app means for the community builders just like you.
So sit back, clear your schedule, clear your mind, and get ready for this week's episode of Creator News Live.
It's Creator News Live, time to lock the front door. Paul Gowder is here, and he's done this before. Hacked or in jail, or just trying to grow. He's got the playbook you need to know.
That's right, folks. We are talking all about Facebook and the issues that we have today. There's going to be a lot of questions I know about people are having, like what they should do, and we're going to try to cover that today. So just ask your questions as they come up. We'll try to get to them as best as possible. But Paul, thank you once again for being back on the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I know we talked about Facebook just a couple months ago on here. We had a lot of questions, so I'm excited to come back and hopefully we can help some people out today.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out really quick to our sponsors, Ecamm. You can find out more about them at ecamm.com/Jeff. If you use code Jeff15, you'll save 15% on your first purchase. And by the way, they have a camp coming up, and I'm actually going to be speaking at it. It is, where is it? It's going to be ecamm.com/camp is where you can find it at. And we've got some great people showing up. We're going to have, let's see here. We got Anna Gill, Doc Rock, Joe Casabonia, Katie, of course, Kirk, Mike Potter, Laura Davison, all these cool people it's going to be the start of MacStock, which I've never been to, but I'm really excited to go to. It's going to be in July 9th in the Chicago area in the Crystal Lake in Illinois. So it's going to be a lot of fun. So we would love to see you there July 9th. You can find out more, as I said, at ecamm.com/camp. All right, folks, let's get into the Facebook stuff. We talked about one click away, which I got a lot of comments on when I sent out that email. People are like, what are you talking about? So this makes people nervous. So we're going to be talking about what you can do, how you can lock down your Facebook account to protect it. But I want to know from you guys in the audience, has your Facebook account ever been hacked? Or have you put in comment jail? Because we've had some people who've been in comment jail for a while. So type hacked, jailed, or both, or lucky in the chat. Let us know which one you are, because that's affected a lot of people. But Paul, you've been running powwows.com and a massive Facebook community for over 25 years. So without naming anyone, have you personally seen the wave of account takeovers hit your circle like in the last 6 months? It's like, what do you think has changed about how attackers are getting in?
Well, the latest round of attacks that we're seeing, if you're getting the business partner out. Did I lock up?
You locked up, but you're back.
Okay. The hacking and the phishing are getting really smart. They're sending out an actual legit email request, and it's a legitimate Facebook process to add somebody to your account as a partner to let them do things. So it's no longer they're trying to like get your password or something like that. They're actually trying to go through legitimate channels. And so many people click on it thinking it's real and legitimate, and they don't know that they're giving people access. Not many people even mess with that side of Facebook into the business manager. And so I think that's one of the things that, because people don't know about it, they don't know how to work it, it's very confusing. You end up giving people permission and you don't know you did. So that's the big one that's going on around right now.
Yeah, so real quick, let people know, like, because we showed off at the beginning of the show, like this. Talk about what phishing is, for example, so people don't know, or they may have heard the term, but they don't know exactly what phishing is.
Yeah, basically they're fishing for information, right? They're just trying to get you to click on something or give them a piece of information. In the case I'm talking about now, they're just trying to get you to click on a link, which then gives them access to your Facebook account or your Facebook page or whatever. So it's no longer, I mean, there still is some attempt to like just, trying to guess your password or trying to break into your computer. These are trying to get you to give away information. A couple of years ago, the phishing things on Facebook specifically were maybe sending you to a fake Facebook page where you'd put in your, not even your password, but you'd put in like some other information that would let them do things. But now they're doing it through a legitimate Facebook page, which is crazy. So it's just an attempt to get information from you.
Got it.
Paul, Meta has quietly killed Trusted Contacts as a recovery option, and a lot of people still think it has their back. So what does the real 2026 recovery stack look like? Passkeys, authenticator hack, government ID, upload the video, selfie, verification, the whole Megillah. If you were to tell somebody like a solopreneur, entrepreneur, anybody watching the show, what is the one thing that you would tell them to set up tonight before they close their laptop?
Well, first thing I want to say that there is no 100% way to protect yourself, which is what makes this whole thing scary. I'm even like, I get nervous talking about it because there is no sure way. But the first thing you need to do is to turn on two-factor authentication. That is the basic layer that everybody needs. The key, everything you do on Facebook goes to your personal profile, whether you're building a business page, a group, or whatever. All of your security is tied to your personal profile. So that's the first thing you have to lock down. So you turn on two-factor authentication on that. There's also another layer that Facebook calls advanced protection. So you need to turn that on. Those two things are the first things you do and secure that personal account right away.
So where do you find those settings? Is it in the desktop app or is it the mobile apps? Because sometimes they're different places for things. So where can we find this to make sure we have it turned on?
And here's the other frustrating thing about Facebook. We were on a call in my community a couple weeks ago, and I was trying to show people how to do something in Facebook, and literally people had different settings and different tabs on the mobile app, and we're all looking at it together. So
Gosh.
yeah, it's very frustrating, but you're going to find all of this. Most of this you can do on your desktop. You want to go to your Facebook, click on in the top right corner, click on that, go to your profile, and do that drop down and look for settings and privacy. And there is a privacy checkup in there. There's a privacy center. You just want to go in there and make sure you have everything you can turned on.
Got it. So that's important to know, because I know. So keep searching until you find it. Like, I've had to ask AI. I've had to try to, I've called Paul. I mean, it is different for a lot of people. So just keep searching until you find it, because it's that important. I skipped over something, Paul, that I wanted to talk about, because we talked about a lot of our friends we're getting these like partnership kind of things that are coming in our inboxes. So how do people who got hacked, they're clicking on things they think are legit. I mean, it looks legit. And our friends, they ain't stupid. Like, these are some of the top creators, in the business that we know, and they're getting fooled. So, it could be a copyright violation notice, that verification, a fake Meta security alert.
Right.
So what are you warning your community about right now? And what can we look for? How can a creator spot like a fake at the first glance?
It goes back to some of the basic concepts of computer security. We used to, when I worked in IT, we talk about this. Don't click a link. Doesn't matter if you think it's legit or not. Don't click the link. Try to go to Facebook manually and then find what they're asking for to see if it's legit. I was talking to somebody just yesterday and they sent me a screenshot and they're like, hey, I just got this message. Is this a legit thing in Facebook? And I'm like, yeah, it actually is. That is a legit thing. But she's like, well, okay, well, I'm trying to find it in Facebook so I don't have to click on this link. I'm like, yeah, it's tough, right? But that's the first thing. Don't click on links, and be very careful about installing plugins too. And one person we know got hit with the business manager partnership request. Another one got hit because they installed a Chrome plugin that gave them access to that. Yeah, you just have to be very, very vigilant about anything you install and click on.
Yeah, that's one of the bad things, I think, with the rise of AI. The phishing attacks are getting very, very specific and really, really good. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg. So that's why we're saying lock it down, like lock it down now today. I was reading a lot of people in our comments were just saying lucky, lucky, lucky. And then like there are some other people going, yeah,
right.
Got it. So, so be very, very careful. Like this is the time today after the show, make sure you follow these steps that Paul is doing for us.
I am taking voracious notes for all these things that Paul is saying.
Right.
I saw one of those emails came through for me this morning and I was just like, nope,
right.
I've seen what it's done with our friends. So Paul, I have a question. Let's talk about Meta Verified. And, there are 4 tiers now. The top one is a whopping $4.99 a month. So for a creator or small business owner watching this, is Verified actually worth it for faster account recovery like human support? Or is it just mostly marketing? What are your thoughts on that?
Here's my advice. And again, we don't know 100%. None of this is 100% guaranteed, but I tell everybody you need to at least be verified on your basic Facebook personal profile. Remember, like I said, that's the key to everything you do on Facebook. So that's the first thing you want to do. And I think right now, most people can get their Facebook personal verified for like $14 a month. That is the cheapest insurance you'll ever buy. Now, on pages and things like that, like if I wanted to Meta verify powwows, it is $500 a month. And I've talked to some other people in the Facebook world, and nobody has recommended me doing that yet. I probably will at some point because as Facebook content monetization and some other things grow, I want that to be secured. But I will give an example of how my personal verified actually saved me. This was back in December. I got a notification from Facebook saying that powwows.com had all of its monetization turned off, which is a very scary thing to get. I was actually at Disneyland sitting in the Grand Californian Hotel, getting ready to go to the parks. And I see this notification, stomach drops. Oh my God, what do I do? So I opened a support request through my Meta Verified on my personal, and literally 10 minutes later, they're like, oh yeah, no problems here. All your stuff's turned back on. So they were able to support my unverified, unpaid for business page through my personal. Will that work 100% of the time? No. But again,
you got lucky.
$14.99 is the cheapest insurance you'll ever have. That's the basic place to start, is turn that on.
Now, that being said, just last night or maybe this morning, I was reading an article. They are rolling out new subscriptions to both Facebook and Instagram. There was even one I saw that was a certain level that actually lets you talk to a human, which has been a big complaint before. But of course, Facebook or Meta is now monetizing that. Even talking to a real person is going to cost you money. So this is the option. These are some new options coming out. So make sure you look at it. I don't think they've rolled out yet, but I know it's coming. There was like 3 or 4 different levels of like subscriptions that you can do between Meta and Instagram. I wish they just bundle it all together. It drives me nuts having to pay 2 different places. But anyway, so that's rolling out. We'll probably do a show about that later because I'm not sure how fast it's going to go, but I'm sure that'll be something we'll want to talk about. But at the very least, do what Paul says, get that, lower tier, lock down your personal one, because that may give you an end to some of those other pages you have connected. The other thing I wanted to talk about, Paul, is this happened to a couple of our friends as well. It's not so much a ban or you lose your page, but you're put into comment jail, right? And so this one kind of surprised me the most. So like I think somebody in our community got hit with like a 14-day comment restriction on their own page. Like they couldn't comment. Like, so,
Yes.
so what triggers that? I mean, I guess it's better than losing your access and your page gone completely, but what is that? Why do they do it? And what's the appeal process that you go through if you get blocked for commenting on your own page?
We don't know what causes it, and you're screwed. No, so the best the best I can tell, and what I've seen and kind of, seen other creators post, it has to do with when you start sharing to multiple groups, like even the same content, which is problematic because right now, if you're in the content monetization program, Facebook is encouraging you to cross post all of your stuff across multiple groups. So if you do that, you can get put into these temporary restrictions. Now, one person we know that has been in this, she tried to get it appealed through her verified, and she's still in it. And she's banned from commenting in her own groups and on her own page, which is crazy. So me personally, I actually, again, here's a Meta verified example. I don't have something turned on my account, the whole subscription thing where you can, let people subscribe to you.
Mm-hmm.
That's not turned on to my personal account. And I wanted to know why, because usually that's the first thing you get turned on in your content monetization journey. So I got into Meta verified and I asked the AI, hey, why don't I have this? And it came back and said, it's because you've been marked as a spam account on May 14th. I'm like, oh, Lord. So I was actually able to go into Meta verified and ask for a person. And they actually called me, which is pretty crazy. And they reviewed my account, said it was a problem with the AI and that some accounts are being hit with the spam flags that are not correct. Again, we don't know 100% what's going on Facebook, as they like the go fast, break things motto. And having been in some of the Facebook programs over the year, I know that there are groups that just don't talk to each other and they don't know what's going on. So keep using that Meta verified if you get into the spam jail and try to, work through that, get to a real person. Maybe that will help. But yeah, I would say if you get that bonus where it asks you to cross post to multiple groups, just don't go for it. It's not a whole lot of money. It's only like, I think mine's been like, $10, $15, something like that. Just leave it alone and don't do it.
Yeah, it's not worth getting banned at all.
When it comes to business manager admins, Paul, what would you say is your quarterly admin list hygiene routine?
Yeah. So yes, this is first thing you need to do. And let's talk about how now we're going to secure our business assets. You want to secure your personal profile. And then if you have a page, you want to have a backup admin. So your spouse, a close friend, have somebody else as a backup admin, but make sure that they have gone through all the steps on their personal profile, the 2-factor, the advanced protection, Meta verified. So on your business page that you have at least 2 admins that can manage the page in case one of you lose access. That's the first thing. Then the other thing is that whole business partnership program I was talking about. When you go into the business suite, go and look at people that are in there and the permissions and the roles you've given them. There's a couple of different tabs for people, for businesses, where you can give them, editor, moderator, access to your ads account, all those kind of things. Go through that once a month and make sure that you haven't accidentally added somebody or that somebody's requested access and it's pending, and clear those out.
Yeah. When all this happened, I went in and one, that was hard to find. All those places, like it's in three different places. And like I was looking on mobile and stuff and finding what had access, because I use a tool called repurpose.io, which allows me to repurpose a lot of my shorts and stuff. And I was having some permission issues with that. And so I was going in, but I was really shocked after I kind of did this audit, like you're talking about, how many programs had access to certain places in my Facebook account. So, and some of them I hadn't used in years. So I went through and kicked them all out and cleaned it all up. But make sure you've done that. If you're being like Paul and I, who've been on this platform for a while now, there's some garbage that kind of can sneak in. The other thing I want to ask Paul is, I know a lot of times, and this was back in the day, we were recommending to have multiple ad accounts because somebody's ad account would get banned. Is that still a good idea to do, to have another ad account as well? Because that's isn't that different, separate from business manager. I mean, there's so many different goofy things. But
Yeah. And over the years, it's crazy. You talk about how all these things have permissions. Over the years, as I've added ad accounts and added different things, my whole business manager is such a mess. And I have assets. I have multiple
Right.
businesses and assets in all the wrong places. And I've talked to people at Meta trying to help me fix it. And nobody wants to touch it because it is so
right.
complicated. And it's just built on such a delicate framework. So
Yeah.
you need to at least have one ad account. And I recommend that people, everybody should be spending at least a couple of dollars a day, maybe $25 a month, something small. Spend some money on ads. Again, that's another touch point inside of Facebook where you can get support. I have had to go through ad support to get things fixed on my page. It doesn't always, again, it's not 100%. And sometimes they'll tell you that they can't help you with other things. But if you're spending money and you tell them, hey, I can't comment in my groups and I really want to do that and to continue running ads, you might get some help.
Yeah.
Not 100% though. But yeah, I recommend you have an ad account and spend a little bit of money. Again, when Facebook gives you a tool, you want to use it.
Yeah. So last question on this lock it down section is, what's the single dumbest thing you've seen other creators do that opens them up to a hack, other than clicking on something in like their text messages? What's something you're like, oh my gosh, why did they do that?
I mean, simple passwords. I've talked to a lot of people and their password, they haven't changed it in 10 years. And it's, their kid's name and birthday or something really simple. That's probably the worst thing I've seen people do. And then also just, clicking links and not reading. It's scary because I watch my mom use social media and she doesn't know. And she'll go live from random places. And I'm like, stop clicking things. You got to read. And she'll have weird things turn on her Facebook and all this stuff. I'm like, Mom, you just didn't stop clicking.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's probably the two things that people you just have to be very careful and read everything before you click these links.
I just thought of another question. Let's say this has happened to us, right? We're blocked out of our page. We've had, like I said, our friends have done this. How long should we wait? Like before we just go, I'm starting a new page. I'm going to hopefully get everybody to come back over. Like, is there a waiting period because some of people I know their whole business relies on Facebook or, the community. When do we decide, okay, I'm just going to start a new one and let my people know and hopefully it goes out versus, okay, I'm going to wait this out and see how long I can go before, I have to do that. So what is your kind of, I know it's happened to you, but you've waited and you've got it fixed, but did you have a cutoff date in mind?
Well, I've never lost complete access. I've lost pieces and tools of it. I've had my personal profile got turned off of running, doing any kind of monetization for a year. And I could not appeal, let's talk about crazy things. Sorry, this isn't answering your question, but I'm going to go on
go. Yeah, I would hear it.
Tangent. I live streamed from the American Pavilion, Voices of Liberty, and that got hit with a copyright flag. And it took me a year to get that turned off before I could have any kind of monetization on my personal profile again. So be very careful with that kind of stuff. That's another crazy thing people do. Stop posting things with music in it. That will kill you eventually.
Yeah.
But as far as how long to wait. So if you are really running your business and your revenue depends on what you do on Facebook, there's a couple of things I would say to do first. One is have a secondary page that you do a few things with. You don't want to put your primary there, your primary business and all your posts, but have something that if you're using a tool like Repurpose, that maybe you're posting some of the content to two different places and slowly build that and have a backup. If your money and your revenue really depends on it, have a backup. As far as how long to wait, I would first you get on support immediately after it happens. There is I think it's facebook.com/hacked. You can go there immediately and file and let people know. And then if you have that backup account, start using it, and tell your audience, get, and one of the examples that we know that where she lost her personal Facebook and her business Facebook, she started posting, she created a new account and started posting on Instagram and other places, letting her followers know, and people shared that and really helped her rebuild. So I wouldn't wait too long. You can, if it comes back, you can always, there is ways to merge pages. There is ways to rename pages. So if you're using that backup, and you can, you could rename it to your main one and then change it back. Yeah. I would not wait very long. Start taking action immediately.
Yeah, I still have mainly Pinterest tips that I keep just for that reason, that I have to go over there and switch that name and change it up. So those are great examples, Paul. You know, something that won't ever hack you. It's our amazing, amazing sponsors from Ecamm, and they have a special word right now.
When your show deserves the very best, Ecamm stands above the rest. Ecamm.com/Jeff, won't you see? Broadcasting brilliance, easy as can be.
That's right. Thank you to our friends over at Ecamm for making this show possible. You can find out more at ecamm.com/Jeff. All right, Paul, we're going to talk. Oh, by the way, we're going to talk about this new tool that I have not even played with yet. So I'm going to let Paul, I mean, he's into groups. He knows it all. But have you guys, I want you to know in the comments, have you played with the Forum app yet? Type yes if you've installed it, no if you haven't, or never heard of it until today, because it's pretty new. So let us know if you yes, no, or never heard of it down below, because we're going to be talking about their new group app. So it was last week, May 22nd, Meta launched this standalone app called Forum. It's iOS only. It's only in the US right now. And it's dedicated a conversation first space for Facebook groups. So like no friend feed, no pages. As of now, no algorithmic recommendations, just community. So you have one of the biggest Facebook groups in your niche. So I want to walk through this with you and ask whether this is this is going to be a thing that Community Builder is going to have, or is it just another experiment? So you found out about this Forum app the same way most of us did. There was no big press release. There was no big fanfare, just kind of this App Store drop. Have you played with it? And like, what was your first impression of it? Somebody who's been running groups for a while.
Yeah, my first impression was like, I was very shocked and surprised, because it has felt like over the last year that Facebook was deprioritizing groups, you know, taking live stream out of groups, taking away some of the notifications, and it just, they've changed how they do things in groups. And I really felt like they were moving away from it. And then this app rolls out, but with no announcement and no real press behind it. So with anything Facebook does, you want to use it when they provide you a tool, like I said earlier. So yes, start using it. It's a really cool app. Is it going to last? I don't know. It doesn't, without them promoting it and really talking about it, it really makes me wonder if this was just some kind of experiment and they just put it out there and they're not really going to be behind it. I don't know. But while it's here, use it.
Yeah. Test it out and try it.
Yeah. And I think the thing that is the biggest architectural difference with this new app is that it really takes out the main feed. There's no friends, no pages, no algorithms. And it's just the group that you're in. So like Paul, for a person like yourself with an audience that's inside Powwow's community, does that focus environment help or hurt engagement? Like what changes when there's no algorithm noise around the conversation?
Yeah, my personal experience using it so far, I'm loving it. I'm seeing much more posts across lots of groups than I would have without using the app, because some of the stuff never surfaces, right? So there's groups that I know I'm in, but I have not paid attention to them because they don't show up on my For You page. So yeah, I think it's really going to help engagement, because people will, they'll get exposure to all of their groups really quickly. It is a really well done app. I'm really enjoying the interface, and I think it is going to help engagement. As a group admin, now is the time to take advantage of it and start posting more in your groups to get, to put the engagement out there. Yeah, I really like it.
So it's really interesting because we've got a lot of people saying, well, first of all, Sean says, I'm editing out music for my video right now. He's freaking out. So we've got some people following your advice, but a lot of people have never, ever heard of this. Of course, Rich Graham, because he's in the know all the time. He's heard of it, but Video Like a Dad. So it's really interesting. And Rich says, it reminded me of groups that I forgot I was a part of. Yeah, because
Right.
we've joined, all of us, for if we've been on Facebook for a while, you've got a lot of stuff that kind of gets in those groups when you've signed up before. But Paul, it has like this feature built in. It's got these 2 AI features. One is called Ask, which lets a user search across all the groups that they're in for an answer instead of digging through it one by one, which is, I think, a great feature. The other is Admin AI Assistant for moderation and community health. So are either one of those features like maybe something you've been looking for as a community manager, or do they just kind of shift work into a kind of a different area?
The moderation assistance, I think it's a nice feature. It depends on how active your group is and how much discussion and back and forth you get, if that's going to help you. The Ask feature, I absolutely love it as a Facebook group admin, because so many people post the same question over and over again. So I've been in groups where you'll post a question and the first comment is like, do a search first, stop posting.
Right.
And people get really upset about that, right? They'll flame you.
Right.
So I think that's going to make it easier to resurface content that's already been discussed, because right now searching inside of a group is terrible in the regular Facebook interface. So this is really going to help people find answers that are already out there. And the fact that it searches across multiple groups, I think this is going to help smaller groups too that have good content. You are going to show up in people's search and therefore get some engagement and some traffic back to your group, even though you're not one of the big ones out there in your niche.
So before you ask the next question, Zach, I wanted to do a little follow up. This is kind of off topic, but we're talking about Facebook and the Facebook group and having a community on Facebook and this new app that's coming out. And I know you have some of your communities on Circle and even Mighty Networks. Do you recommend people do communities or groups on Facebook anymore when they have these other options that are actually a little bit better for building community and all that stuff? Is it still worth having a community on Facebook?
It depends. I think for most people, most businesses, it is still worth it to at least have a presence in Facebook groups, especially if you're going to build a public group. With this new app, I think Facebook may be trying to compete with the Reddits and things like that. And one of the things that makes Reddit such a big place in the whole world right now is that they show up in Google searches. Google search is changing and who knows what that's going to mean. But I think Facebook is trying to get their groups, especially public groups, to show up in searches and show up in AI answers and surface that content more. So if you are going to create a group, yes, create one, create a public one. For me right now, we still use our groups, but we are seeing better engagement on platforms that we manage. So if you're going to create a group, here's the one thing I say to do is use a tool. I use lead. Oh gosh, what's it called? Group leads. So when you ask a question and you ask the 3 questions before they join, one of them can be, give me your email if you want to subscribe to my newsletter. Use a tool like Group Leads to capture that and put it in your list so that you're at least getting some kind of asset that you own and you control their email address, that in case that group changes or goes away or Facebook just kills groups completely. So that's the main thing we're doing right now with groups, is using it as a big lead magnet and then trying to direct those people over to our email list and to our Mighty Networks so that it's a place we manage. And again, like I said, I'm seeing much more engagement on our Mighty Networks, real conversations happening.
So here,
as opposed to our 130,000 group. Yeah.
So here's the question. Like, okay, let's say you lost everything and you had to start over. Like, let's say for me, I don't have a Facebook group. Should I start one and then move them over to a Circle or whatever, like you're kind of doing as a lead magnet? Or would you say, no more Facebook groups, I'm going to start a group in like a Mighty Networks or a Circle kind of a thing? Would you, if you had to start over, would you go the Facebook route? I put you on the spot.
I don't know that I would. Yeah, if I was starting over, I think I would probably spend more time building traffic to email landing pages and then directing them to Mighty Networks. But it also depends on your niche, right? If you're in the Disney space. There is so much in the Disney cruise, Disney World groups. I don't know that I would try to create another one of those because there are so many. I think I would just focus on moving them to an email list. So it really does depend on your niche and what you're trying to do. But
Okay.
I
That's a
don't
great
know that I
answer.
would create a group right now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you have one, it's fine, and like you're doing, I think it's super smart. Is using it as a lead magnet to move those people to like the deeper
Right.
group where you have more control, and they're not going to take it away from you, and or turn off like features like live streaming or whatever.
Right.
So I think that's super smart. So yeah, so it's always that question: do you want the numbers building on somebody else's land, or do you want to work a little bit harder at the beginning, but then really own that group and do what you want with it and be able to monetize it and all that kind of stuff. So that's a great thing to think about, because I know a lot of people here like me are thinking about, okay, how can we move this into a offline conversation and have some more engagement, and what's the best route to that? Because a lot of us, I think as creators, we struggle, which way should we go, and then we don't do any of it. So I think picking one and moving forward is the key, which I'm talking to myself here. So anyway, Zach, sorry I went off the rails, but whatever.
No, I think it's amusing when a new app or a new platform is launched and we immediately go, well, that's just so and so's version of blank. We're already comparing it to something else. And so people are saying like Meta is just, or the forum is Meta's answer to Reddit. So Paul, as someone whose community has always lived on Facebook, do you actually see this as Facebook Meta trying to compete with Reddit or say like Discord for niche community? Or is this Meta trying to win people back who've left for other platforms?
I mean, I think to a certain extent they are trying to compete with Reddit, but I think it's what I'm seeing in my perspective. I don't think they're trying to compete and be the next Reddit. I think they see some of the benefits that Reddit has, like showing up in search, surfacing those kinds of things when people are looking for it. I think they want that. And if you've listened to what Zuckerberg has said over the last year or so, he's talked about he wants Facebook to be the platform where creators, especially creators, come to first to post their content. And he realized that they kind of lost that. So with content monetization is a big program where they're trying to get creators to come back to the platform. So I see it as a place where they are trying to get people to re-engage and be the place where you post first. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're trying to build this huge thing like a Reddit. I think they just want to take some of the benefits Reddit has and recreate that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything seems to be cyclical. I mean, I have a feeling they're going to bring live back because of all the AI stuff going on. Like they need that community, that, the authenticity of this in some of the group stuff. And so I just have a feeling that's got to come back, because I just think they killed it too quick. This is a great point from Sean from But Mostly Disney. He says, to join the group call we did, we advertised in the Facebook group to subscribe to the newsletter where the link for the call was. See, that's smart. That's super smart. Yep. I think they probably did. You get that from Paul? Did you get that from Paul? Sean, I mean, just give you a hard time, but no, that's super smart way to do it. And I think if you're starting something, like Paul says, get them on your list first. Like, community is great, having a group is great, but get them on your something that you own. And we'll put a link in the show notes to that tool. What was it? Group leads. So make sure, like, if you're starting a group, capture their email. If you haven't done it yet, do it now. Like, as soon as you're done, that is super important, because of these things that we're talking about, being locked out and all the stuff. Being able to email your people and say, hey, we got shut down, we're going to be over here now. Like, having that is just, it is such a life raft that you can use for that situation. Meta tried the standalone group apps before. They shut it down in 2017. So what do you think's different this time?
I don't know. And that's what makes me worried that this might not last. I look back to, I've given this example when I talked before, the whole podcast feature that Facebook rolled out, and they prioritized for like a year. Mm-hmm. It was great. And being a podcaster on Facebook was easy because they just pushed it out, but then they just killed the whole thing and it was gone. So I don't know. It makes me really nervous when Facebook rolls out a feature and they don't talk about it. So it doesn't feel like it's a permanent, I mean, nothing's permanent with Facebook, but it doesn't feel like something that they are prioritizing. So don't get too used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you recommend people try the Forums app, or would you have them wait for a bit, or does it even matter because it's just a tool?
It's just a tool. So if you're running groups or you're very active in groups, yes, start using it right now and take advantage of the ability to search across groups to find content. And as an admin, start doing some more conversation starters, start really using your Facebook group to get conversations going, because I think that's going to really help engagement because in the app, it makes it so easy for people to see all of their groups and respond quickly. So if you are a group admin, it is a tool you want to encourage your people to use and really push out there.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know how long it's going to be around.
Yeah. So don't get used to it. Put it on a spot in your phone that you can, swipe away. All right. So we're going to talk about this next section. And this is where you guys, I really want you to ask your questions, because this is super smart stuff. And Paul's I've watched him for years, and he's one of the best group leaders, and his community is huge on Facebook, over 1 million, right? Isn't that right for the Powwows page? Don't you have
our page? We're sitting at 1.8 million.
Yeah. So he kind of knows Facebook. But what is the one Facebook tip you wish someone had told you a year ago? So let me know in the chat. Did you, or maybe it came from this show? I don't know. So what's the best Facebook group you've heard, Facebook tip in the last year that you've heard? Drop it in the chat, because I think it would be great for all of us kind of to learn together. So we've got a few minutes left, Paul, and I wanted to really get into this, but you're inside Facebook every single day. You're even doing it at Disney when you're doing checking it before you go hang out. And you see stuff that most creators never look at. So let's kind of do a lightning round of the stuff that people are missing in their Facebook strategy. The buttons they're not pushing, the features they're not using, the habits that you use that move the needle.
Right.
I want us to talk about like some of those things. So what's one feature inside of the professional dashboard that most creators have never opened, but that you check every week?
I'm going to give you two on that. One is, first of all, make sure you go in your professional dashboard on your phone and on desktop, because they are different. But go into your professional dashboard. I'm going to do it. Click on community, scroll all the way over to the side where it says invite people. It is difficult to grow your page or your profile and get more followers. Facebook gives you a tool, and it will show you your recent posts and how many people interacted with them. And you can just hit a button. I just did it. It just sent push notifications to everybody who commented on those posts, inviting them to follow me. It's a really easy way to grow. That's the first thing. The other one is go into your dashboard, click on, where is it? Content and analytics, and just make sure you scroll down every day, because it's going to tell you what's working and what's not. And it will tell you what content they want to see you post more. I don't follow that 100%. Don't stop changing. But like right now, it's telling me over the last 7 days, your reels performed 2,000% better than your other pieces of content. Post more reels. You need to be in there looking at that. Facebook's telling you what's working, so you need to do that.
So but that's really interesting when they say post more reels. But the thing is, every video that you post on Facebook is called a reel now. So give me a little bit more, right? Like every video is a reel. Like it doesn't. This is a reel, like living on Facebook. So it's just kind of bonkers to me. So a little more information.
But but it's performing 2,000% better than my photos and my text. Right. So yeah. Yep.
Very, very interesting.
And it's even told me like that your 15-second videos are performing better than your 45-second videos. So you need to be shooting for 20-second videos, and it'll do stuff like that too. So those are the two places you really just need to make a habit of going through your professional dashboard every day and looking to see what they're telling you.
I need to start doing that. Okay. Good point though. All right. Zach.
No, again, I'm just taking notes. Paul, I'd say that most people probably just post and walk away, like they set it and forget it. But what's your routine in the first hour after a post goes live that actually changes how far it travels? Like, what's the difference that you're doing?
Yeah. So we talked about Facebook is asking you to share to groups. Just don't spam groups. But within the first few minutes, I try to share it to at least one group, because that is going to help build engagement. Make sure you share it to your story. And then respond to all the comments, especially in that first hour, and not just liking people's comments, but actually responding. And try to do more than just like if somebody says, hey, this is really cool, don't just say thanks. Actually, type a few words there. It does matter. Facebook's looking at the depth of engagement, and they see the difference between a yes or a yay and a actual, an actual real conversation. So yeah, do those two things in the first hour is very important.
So
I need to be better about that.
Yeah, no kidding. So not no kidding to you, Zach, but no kidding. I need to do something like that. Like, yeah, Zach, no kidding. You need to do that. The question I have is how important it is to, it used to be like, don't say yes or thumbs up or whatever.
Right.
But
right.
is it to ask another question, like a follow-up question to continue the conversation? Is that still weighted heavily when they're that first hour that you're talking about?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So the signals that they want to see that tell them that a post is getting real engagement is 1, a share, and then 2, comments, and then 3, conversations. And then from there, it's who's liking it, who's looking at it, right? So you want to get as many shares as possible. So make it something that people are going to want to show their friends. But then, yes, as people respond, you don't have to be in there asking the same person or the same follow-up question to everybody in there. But yeah, try to be human, right? Like if somebody says, hey, this was really cool, thanks so much. Like Michelle just said, you cannot post too much content on Facebook. So I could go and reply to her and say, yes, the other day, my Facebook insights told me that I should be posting 27 more times on my personal profile this week. That's the kind of thing you want to have conversations, real conversations. And again, don't be spammy. Facebook is smart. They see what you're doing.
Yeah. Rich says, he goes, I love it when people comment following. Just kidding. I hate that. Yeah, don't do that.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is a reel. And if you want to share it to your feed, we'd be more than happy for that if this has helped you out in any way. So, Paul, reels, text posts, photos, links, stories, group posts, Facebook is paying creators now. I know you've been talking in our mastermind. You've talked to a lot of people about there's money to be made on Facebook right now. So what format are like a creator sleeping on the most heading into summer, kind of really practical right now? What would you tell them?
Text posts. Not enough people are doing conversation posts. Michelle is in the comments. Go look at Michelle, what she's doing on her Fun in Key West. She is posting great conversation starters and getting 400 and 500 comments on a post. Wow. That's crazy engagement. She's doing awesome. Fantastic with that. So is Sean over at But Mostly Disney. Try posting text posts and do a conversation starter. Like when I talked to Sean at Momentum, I told him to go on his page and post Mexico or Canada and just leave it at that. So find something in your niche that is going to get engagement. Yeah, all the Disney people out there are now
explain it. Now explain why. I know why, but
screaming which way. Yeah. Which way do you start in Epcot, Mexico or Canada? And there are right answers. But you find things like that. And then I also recommend post it in text, just plain text, post it in text using that, the colored backgrounds. So, and try that, and then make a graphic of that same thing with text on an AI generated image or something. Try it 3 different ways, see which way your audience engages the best, and then do more of that.
Real quick, before Zach, you get your question. Is it worth cross-posting stuff from Instagram over to Facebook or doing it at the same time? Because I know, carousel posts do really well over on Instagram. Do they do well on Facebook? I mean, what are your thoughts about cross-posting content in that way?
What I'm recommending for most people is you concentrate on posting content first on Facebook. If you want to turn it on so that it does share to Instagram, great. I don't think you should be starting on Instagram and having it go to Facebook, because Facebook is where they are really prioritizing with content monetization, where they want creators to be. So post first on Facebook and then let it go if you want to send it somewhere else. Yeah.
I think people think that in the opposite because it's really easy on Instagram to hit that button that it shares to Facebook. Yeah. So, okay, that's a really good takeaway is do Facebook first, then Instagram because of the monetization.
Yes.
Awesome. See, that's worth the price of admission right there, folks. There you go.
And even if you're not monetized, you need to be taking advantage of what they're giving away with organic reach right now. They are really prioritizing original, interesting conversation and content. So by even if you're not monetized, by posting these conversation starters, this kind of engaging content on Facebook, you're going to get organic reach that you've never seen before. It is crazy. If you start posting consistently, you'll be blown away. So, and that's why I say post first on Facebook, because that's where they're giving away this organic reach.
Awesome. Awesome.
Paul, what's a Facebook habit that you used to swear by that you've completely dropped this year? And I want to know what replaced it.
Well, and posting links, right? So over the years, our main revenue source on Powwows was driving people to the website, and then we had ads on our content, and that was one of our main content or main revenue strategies. Facebook does not, I mean, they've never liked you posting links, but it's never been as hard as it is now to get links traction. So we've been, and I have a company that helps me manage the Facebook page over at Powwows, and we've been looking at our content over the last 6 months, seeing what's working and what's not. And so, for example, we have an event calendar, and so we would post all of the powwows coming up on our Facebook page with a link to go back to the calendar. And we have found over the last 3 months, those posts are not performing at all. It is the worst content that we post on Facebook. So, but that's what our audience does. They want that content if Facebook is just suppressing it. So we've had to adjust our strategy. And so we're now posting that same content as stories. We're posting it as photos with a link in first comment. We're having to really move the way we do that stuff. You can't just post a link anymore. And for all things holy, please don't post a YouTube link on Facebook. They hate that. Don't do it.
Not even in the comments? Not even in the comments?
I wouldn't even do it in the comments.
Really?
So, and again, think about what's
the next question.
I mean, if you're trying to grow your YouTube page, I totally think that is a valid thing. And YouTube long form content in the long run is going to pay you better than Facebook. Yes. But for people who are small creators just trying to get traction, why aren't you posting that same video on Facebook and YouTube instead of trying to get traffic from Facebook to YouTube? Because that's never going to work. So just post the video in both places.
Got it.
Interesting.
So
yeah, I was just wondering, sorry, Jeff, I'm wondering about comments. Like you're talking about posting links, but will they penalize you for posting a link, like you said, in like say the first comment? Like you tell them in the copy, here's the link below. You're still providing them with the information, but you're not putting it in the post itself. Does that work?
Right. So far, it is working for us. Does Facebook know you're doing that? Of course they do. They know, right? But right now it is working, and I'm doing a lot of posting links to landing pages in first comment, again, trying to get people to the newsletter. And I'm seeing those starting to work and starting to get some people to join the newsletter by clicking on that. I wouldn't do it on every single post. Don't overdo anything on Facebook. But it does work. It works better than just posting the link in the post itself, because that's not going to work.
Right. I don't do that anymore, at least. So, yeah. We got some great questions before we wrap up the show. I wanted to get to. Disney Hotel Lady says, is there a button for that on Facebook? She's talking about like on Instagram, share to Facebook, but on Facebook, share to Instagram. Is there a button for that as well?
There is. When you look at your post on Facebook, there's the 3 dots up above it.
And you're talking about mobile, right? Mobile.
I'm looking on the app. So okay. The 3 dots on your post, click that, and then there's a share to Instagram from there.
Very, very cool. And then Rich Graham has a question. How can I tell if my Facebook personal profile is a professional profile? I only have a dashboard, not a professional dashboard.
Then that probably means you are not turned on for creator. What you want to do is, and again, I have to go to it to see, but you go into your dashboard and let's see.
They make it so easy, don't they, Rich?
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Rich, I will follow up with you. I forgot how to tell, but there's a way to tell what kind of account you have in your dashboard.
Mine says creator on it. Like it tells me that, like at the top. I think. Anyway, we'll follow
Yeah,
up with that.
look for if it says professional. It should say creator account. Look for those words. But actually, usually, if you have a dashboard, it does mean that you have professional turned on. I don't think regular profiles have analytics. So
Yeah,
you probably are turned on if you have dashboard.
that's the thing. It's different. Paul's will look different than
It's-
mine. It's so bazonkers, and I don't know why they do it that way. Alrighty. Last question, and then we'll get to kind of the wrap up. Paul, if somebody watching or listening wants to grow their Facebook this quarter and can only commit 30 minutes a day, what's the exact 30-minute routine you'd give them?
paulgouder.com/Facebook challenge. And I'll help you. Takes you through a whole sequence of how you create content on Facebook quickly. It's that sequence actually takes you through creating 26 pieces of content in 10 days. But the thing I mean, use AI to help you, but go and find conversation starters, questions, things that will get your audience talking, like the whole which way to start in Epcot thing, or like Michelle's doing with her Key West. Ask people what's a dive bar they always go to, what's a hidden attraction in Key West that only locals know about. Those kind of questions where everybody in your audience has an answer and they want to contribute. Those are the things that you need to start doing now, and that's what's going to get you huge engagement.
Very, very cool. Well, this, as always, Paul is super smart. He knows all the things. Make sure you guys do go to what he had put up there, the paulgouder.com/Facebook challenge. Gouder is spelled Gowder for you guys listening on the podcast. But make sure you go check that out. He's got a ton of great stuff. He's my guy when it comes to Facebook stuff. He's the guy I ask first about everything. But make sure you check out him. Thank you guys for all the great questions today. Zach Brown, where can people find the amazing, incredible Zach Brown?
Hey, you can follow me on the socials at Zach Brown Creative, and you can find the full podcast videos for the Zach Brown Show on YouTube / the Zach Brown Network.
Awesome. Now, Paul, aren't you doing a summit or a speaking thing coming up soon about, or did you already do that?
We just did a big Facebook monetization growth.
Okay.
Virtual, we did that a couple weeks ago, but I'll probably do another one maybe as we get closer to fall.
Yeah. Make sure you go, and this is a sequence, right? They opt into this, and it's
Yes.
the Facebook challenge. So this will come to your inbox, paulgouder.com/Facebook challenge. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for Michelle and Disney Hotel Lady, Rich Graham, as always, Sean, everybody who came and did this. You guys are awesome. I would love for you guys to come check us out at the Maker's Table, at Maker's Table Live over on YouTube. We'll be carving later on this afternoon. But you guys are the best. We have the best chat room in the world.
Creator News Live chat room. The best chat room in the world.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Paul Gouder. Thank you, Zach, for being here. We appreciate you. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a great weekend, everybody.